So Santander has launched a brand new current account. It's called the Edge, or just Edge. And this is offering 1% cashback on spending, 1% cashback on bills, and 4% interest on savings. That is ticking a lot of boxes. It sounds, on paper at least, that this is going to be a fantastic account. But there is a fee you have to take into account, £3 every single month. And there are restrictions on how much money you can make from the cashback and the savings from the interest. So this video, I'll take you through those different features, explain to you how they're going to work, and look at some of the alternatives to help you decide whether this is an account that you want to prioritize and whether it's one of my new best buys. Now let's start off talking about the cashback on bills, first of all, because this is a feature which I think does make it very, very different to what you can get from other banks. You might be going, hang on, Andy, doesn't Santander already have the 123 and the 123 Lite account? You're always talking about these accounts to get cashback on your bills. And I am. Sadly, the Santander Edge replaces Santander's 123 Lite account for new customers. If you're an existing customer, don't panic. You can keep hold of that. That's not going anywhere, at least for now. Who knows what changes might happen in the future, but at the moment that is staying. But new customers won't be able to get the 123 Lite. They can still get the full 123, and in my comparison in a moment, I'll come back to that, okay? So this Edge account, so 1% cashback on your bills. Not all bills, this is certain direct debits. And the list here, I'll get them for you, it's on your council tax. If you're in Northern Ireland, that includes rates, your gas and electricity bills, your water bills, your mobile and home phone bills, your broadband bill, and any paid for TV packages. Importantly, when we're talking paid TV packages here, we're talking about Sky TV, Virgin TV, BT TV, things like that, not Netflix and Disney Plus. The rate there, I say, is 1%. Now, the kind of attuned people might be reading how that is less than the 123, and that is correct. That used to offer 1% on some, but 2% on your gas and electricity and 3% on your water bill. So those ones will earn less money on this account. And there's also a cap. Now, to be fair, the 123 also has a cap of £5 per category. This one has an overall £10 cap on your bills, cashback on your bills every single month, so 120 quid a year. That seems quite a lot, seems quite nice. I'd quite like to get 120 quid back every single year just from paying my bills. But obviously, in order to get that full £10, your bills would have to be £1,000 every single month. And I know energy bills have been getting ridiculous, and they're going to get higher again in 2023. And council tax bills are pretty hefty, and they're going to get higher in 2023. And you're kind of, if you've got all the channels and super fast broadband and loads of different mobile phones in the house with the handset and the SIM tariffs, you could well be sort of getting, bills which are in the high hundreds. I still think it's very, very, very unlikely anyone's going to be paying those bills £1,000 a month. So I think it's very, very unlikely anyone is going to be getting £10 a month cash back. Okay. And in fact, if you are someone who is getting close to £1,000, in fact, if you're someone who's paying more than £500 or £600 every single month, I appreciate different households and different number of people can make a difference here. But if you are paying a lot of money on your mobile phone, if you're paying a lot of money on all the pay TV channels and things like that, you'll be better off focused on seeing and get those deals down. See what you can scrap, see what you can replace. Spoken about that quite a lot in other videos. Bring those down rather than sort of thinking, well, it's great, I'll get more money, 1% back, because 1% isn't a huge amount on those kind of levels of bills. Okay, so I would say, really broadly speaking here, most people you'll be looking at getting £4-5 a month cash back, which is nothing to be sniffed at, right? But remember, I mentioned this account isn't free. There is a £3 fee every single month. And I think that this is the part of the account, the current account, the Edge, where you want to factor in the fee, because this is the thing which you can't get elsewhere. This is the only bank offering cashback on your main utilities, your main bills. So let's say you are only getting £4 cashback every single month and you're knocking £3 off that. £12 a year, it's not a lot, is it? Even we can double that, £24, triple that, 36 quid. Maybe. It's one of those things you've got to make the call. Do you want to go through the effort of opening the account to get this? Obviously, we'll come through those other features. You might want to factor those in as well. I think if you're paying these bills anyway, and you don't already have the 123 Lite account, then it's probably worth going for it. because you are getting money for nothing. You're paying the bills anyway. You may as well get something back from that account. And then there's other things may be useful as well. Now, in terms of whether you should ditch the 123 Lite account if you've currently got one of those, I would say no. Stick with that because it's cheaper at £2 a month and you do get those higher rates of cash back. So you'll be making with that account 40, 50, 60, maybe even more every single year. So stick with the 123 Lite if you've got it. If you have the 123 account, the full 123 account, or you haven't got either and you're thinking, do I go for Edge or 123? My instinct here is to go for Edge because it is £1 cheaper every single month. And although the 123 account does give you increased cash back on those couple of categories, so 2% on your gas and electricity, 3% on your water bills, you've got to be paying a huge amount on those bills for that extra quid to be wiped out. And I think that's going to be quite unlikely for that to happen. And as we'll come to later, I would just ignore the savings part of the 123 account. So in terms of cashback on your bills, still a good option for you, but not as good as the 123 Lite was. The next bit, let's talk about that, is the cashback on debit card spending. This is also 1%, which is pretty decent. But not only does it have that £10 cap every single month, same with that, so combined, potentially there's a £240 a year across the two. There is also a limit on the categories where you will earn the cashback. And there are two big sections here. There's transport, which is made up of service stations and petrol stations, automated fuel dispensers, I don't know what that is, suburban and local commuter passenger transport, including ferries, passenger rail journeys, bus journeys, and electric vehicle charging points. You'll note there are no planes in there, nothing ever kind of elsewhere. It's all basically focused on UK commuting. And groceries is the other part. So supermarkets, convenience stores, food markets, specialty food stores, and vending machines. They are the only areas where you will earn cash back. Now, I think that realistically, again, similarly to with the cashback on your bills, most of us are not going to be spending £1,000 combined every single month on those ones. Maybe if you've got a joint account and you're both spending on it and you've both got commuting costs and different cars and petrol and all those things, or a big family and your supermarket shopping is actually really high, then maybe you will go to it and you may well hit that cap and earn the full £10. Most of us, I don't think they will. So when you see the advertising saying up to 240 quid, we've already established you're not going to get that 120 quid from the cashback on your bills, and you're not going to get, I'm pretty sure, 120 quid a year cashback on your spending via this card. Particularly when you factor in the fee towards those two different parts. So maybe you'll get £5 a month cash back on this if you're spending 500 quid across those. Could well be spending more than that, as I say, with commuting. Although bear in mind, if you're someone who buys an annual season ticket, well, that's only going to count for 1 month because that's not going to again factor in throughout the year because it's not being spread out. So not a fantastic part. And then when you compare this to other cashback options out there, again, if you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll know that I'm often talking about best ways of earning cash back on your spending. Well, you can match that 1% with fewer restrictions. The top one is obviously the Chase Bank debit card. That 1% is only for a year, for 12 months. So you may well be thinking, well, what happens when that ends? But until that ends, there aren't the restrictions in terms of where you can earn the money or how much you can earn every single month. There are a couple of things like you can't use it on finance deals, but your normal spending, you'll earn that 1% cash back. So that's a better option. And then there are also some cashback credit cards. The best paying one is the American Express Nectar card. This one will pay you 2 Nectar points for every £1 you spend, which is the equivalent of 1%. So you are going to be getting the same rate, and you can again use it at a number of different retailers. Although not everywhere does accept American Express, you'd be certain that all supermarkets are going to take it, and most petrol, if not all petrol stations, will take it, and again, train companies, things like that. So you're going to be in a situation where actually you're using it on all the places you potentially could use the Santander Edge card, plus many, many more as well, without those caps and restrictions. Now that card does come with a fee, £25 every single month from year 2 onwards, but there are a number of other Amex offers, which I'm pretty confident will actually wipe out that fee every single year. So you'll make that money back in different deals anyway. So from that point of view, I don't see a point of using this part of the Edge. If you are going to have the account and you've got the debit card, fine. But I wouldn't sort of think it's worth really taking advantage of compared to the others, and certainly not a reason to get this account. Now, the last part, probably going to interest quite a few of you as well. This is the interest on savings that comes with Santander's Edge. This pays 4%, which is very good. 4% is higher than you're going to get in most places, but not all, as we'll come back to. But again, it has a restriction. That 4% is only on balances of up to £4,000. So any savings over that will not earn money. So yes, nice little earner. If you had 4K in there at 4%, that's 160 quid you'll make in a year. But don't forget, we've got to take into account the fee. Now, for most people, as I said at the beginning, I think that the cashback on your bills is where you need to kind of portion the fee against. That's the kind of thing where you go, right, I earn this much in cashback, I will knock the fee off, and that will kind of govern whether I make profit from this account or not. And that would mean that if you're doing that, then absolutely you will get the full 4% on any savings you have in this account up to 4K. But what if you've still got the 123 Lite account, as mentioned before? In that instance, well, then you're not going to be sort of setting the fee against that cashback, because you're not going to be earning it on the edge. You have to put that fee against the interest you're going to earn. Similarly, you might decide you want more than one Edge account. If you have more than one Edge account, and you can have a personal account and a joint account, well, you're only going to get cash back on the bills from one account, that first one. So that means your second account, again, you've got to put the fee against something, and that's going to be against the savings. And that can dramatically reduce the rates that you get. We'll have a quick look at this table. I'll put this up on the screen right now. You will see here very, very clearly that you need to have at least 3 grand saved in this account at all times over a year to even get an effective interest rate of 2.8%. And at the time of recording this, that's the magic number, because that is what you'll get for the best easy access, the proper easy access account right now, 2.81%. Just to match the best you can get elsewhere with no charges and no restrictions on how much you can save and all the other bits and pieces that come into play. And in fact, if you look at having the full £4,000 in there, you get 3.1%. Well, there are a number of different places right now which are giving, even with some restrictions, the same or higher than that. So I would say, in terms of thinking about this as a savings account, it's only really worth it if you're getting it as a current account to use for cashback on your bills, and this is the extra bonus you get on top. If you are not getting cashback on your bills from this and that wiping out the fee, then I wouldn't bother. There are better options. Now, obviously, rates do change. I have my regular updates here on the blog every single month looking at the best savings account. So make sure you do check out that one. Put the playlist up here, the most recent videos. Hit subscribe so you get told when the new ones come along. And you'll see how rates do compare right now. But at the moment, November 2022, you can beat this in a number of places. Full stop, but even more places if you're having to factor the fee in. So that's a Santander Edge account. Quick summary then. If you have not got a 123 Lite account already, then I would look at getting the Edge, as long as you have got enough bills coming out that you are going to make a profit after the fee comes out from that cashback there. I would not be using it for your spending at all. And the savings I would only look at as an extra if you haven't already taken advantage of higher paying accounts from the likes of Barclays and Lloyds and NatWest elsewhere. And if you aren't having to factor in the fee on top. I'll have to know what you think of Santander's Edge account. Make sure you leave me a comment below. My name is Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you do check out these videos here for more on your money.